Hello, it's April from April's Home, and today I'm here with my January book haul. Today I'll be sharing a bunch of the books that I got for Christmas and also found while I was out shopping for Christmas, and then some of the books that I've ordered in January to read. I'll start with a book set that I found at Costco while I was out shopping for Christmas presents in late December. This is the Outlander series. This is one that I've always wanted to read. I'm curious about the series. I still haven't seen any of the series or read the book. I had the Outlander book in my collection for a really long time. Then I ended up decluttering it because I just wasn't getting to it. But now that I've been reading a little bit more regularly, I thought that I would go ahead and read through this series. And I thought that this was a pretty good price for all 4 books. I love it when they come in a slipcase as well. So I got this Outlander series. This was from Costco. Then this is a book set that my daughter got me for Christmas. She knows that I love Nancy Drew, and when she was a child, I got her the entire set of the yellow classic covers of Nancy Drew. So my daughter does own all of the Nancy Drew books, which is really nice, and I could borrow those anytime. But I thought that it would be nice to have a copy of the first few books for myself, and when I saw this new cover art, I thought that it would be really fun to have in my collection. And my daughter got this for me for Christmas, which I thought was so nice. You can see the different colors and designs of these Nancy Drew books. They're hardcover. I love the new cover art look to this slipcover here. Here's what the books look like themselves, which I think is really great. I'm pretty sure I've read the first 2 of these for sure. I'm not 100% sure if I've read the Bungalow Mystery or the Mystery at Lilac Inn, but I have read quite a few Nancy Drew books. I love them. They're great, fun, classic mysteries to read. I just always really enjoy reading these. So I was really excited to get this for Christmas. Then this is another item that we found while we were shopping at Costco. We got this for our family library. I love to have reference books like this. Me and my husband really enjoy looking through them. This was $15.99 for the Smithsonian Great Maps book by DK. I love DK books. They're always so nice. This book just looks like a lot of fun. It talks about, it's not just like maps, it talks about like old maps, which I thought were really neat. Includes some of the pictures of those interesting old antique maps and things like that. So I thought that would be a really fun one to have in our library and to have fun looking through. So that was a fun one that we found at Costco. And then I ordered the next Leslie Meyer book that I want to read, British Manor Murder. I'm excited to read that. And then a classic that I've been wanting to read for a long time. I've read a bunch of other John Steinbecks, but I haven't read Of Mice and Men, which just seems crazy to me. It seems like a book that I would have already read. So this is definitely on my to-be-read list for the first couple months in the new year. I'm excited to go back and read some of the older John Steinbeck books that I've already read, but I thought that I would kick it off with one I haven't read yet, Of Mice and Men. It's a classic, and I'm excited to read that. This is a book that me and my husband came across in Target. It says On Tyranny, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century by Timothy Snyder. It's just a really interesting sort of political book, and I thought this would be one that would be fun for both my husband and myself to read and then discuss. We do love reading books like this and discussing them from time to time, so I'm excited to check out this little book. I loved the way that it looked. It sort of looks a little vintage to me, and the first few pages that we read were really interesting, so I'm excited to check that out. This is a book that I ordered from Amazon. It's called The Antlered Ship. I just loved the illustrations of this. I thought that it was just beautiful. I was really excited to add this to my children's library. I'm very, very fond of beautifully illustrated children's books. I love deers and antlers and things like this, so I thought that this would definitely be right up my alley. I'm really eager to read this and put this in my children's book collection. Then I picked up this book also at Target. This is from the author of The Little Book of Huga. I have been enjoying reading about Huga this year, and I have the Little Book of Huga as well, so I thought that this little book, it is called The Little Book of Luca, Secrets of the World's Happiest People, would also be really interesting to read. I've really been enjoying a lot of the different Scandinavian lifestyle books that teach you how to live a balanced life, and just some of the great tips for a nice, balanced, beautiful home. So I'm really eager to read this one as well. I also will be doing a review on 2 books that I read also about Scandinavian lifestyle methods called Lagom. I think that that's how it said. Anyway, I have 2 books on that I'll be reviewing in an upcoming video, and then I will review this one and my Little Book of Huga when I finish reading this one. Then I picked up At Home with Madame Chic, Becoming a Connoisseur of Daily Life. This has been a book that I've heard recommended multiple times from multiple YouTubers, so I thought that I would give it a try. I've seen this book around. It always comes up as a suggested book, but I'd never thought to read it until I heard it recommended so many times. So this is another book that I will be reading in the next couple of months. At Home with Madame Chic. And then this is another book, another Scandinavian book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. I pre-ordered this and just recently got this in January. How to Free Yourself and Your Family from a Lifetime of Clutter. I am definitely very, very focused on decluttering this year. I started the process last year. I would like to step it up a notch. My grandmother passed away in November, and I'll definitely talk about that when I review this book, because it was a very interesting process to see what was left over in a home after someone passed. I care about my grandma very deeply, and I felt like it was one of her final lessons to me. My grandma has taught me so much and inspired me so much in my life, and I thought it was so interesting to think about the concept of what you leave behind when you pass away. And I thought that it was wonderful timing that this book came out. It is basically about decluttering your life and organizing your life in such a way as that when you pass away, you're not going to leave your loved ones a big mess to clean up. I thought that this was a really interesting book and would definitely help inspire some of my decluttering and organizing this year. So this is another book that I will definitely be doing a review on and talking about when I'm done reading this. So The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. The title does sound a little bit macabre, thinking about death and things like that, but it really is a good meaning. It really is a good thing to think about and a good point to use when you're cleaning up and organizing your home. So I'm really excited to read that book. And then lastly, I could not resist this gigantic book here in the center of my table. I believe this is probably the largest book in our home library here. It was $34.98. We saw this in Barnes & Noble when we were there picking up gifts and things, again, at the end of December. This book is called The 20th Century World Architecture, and it's a book full of buildings and their architecture. It says New Global Unprecedented 757 buildings, 97 countries, and 5,100 images. And this is one of those wonderful coffee table books that I know my husband and family will really enjoy looking through. Everyone in my family is really interested in architecture. It's just something we're always drawn to. My husband is a realtor, so we have the opportunity to see a lot of different homes and check out different architecture and things like that in just our normal everyday life. And so it's just something we're always interested in, exploring buildings and things like that. So I thought that this book was a must-have. So let me go ahead and open this up and kind of show you. It comes in this big case here that you kind of open up like this. And this is the book inside here. It's just huge. I can barely even lift this. It's good that it came with a handle because I would not have been able to shift it around very easily otherwise. But this is just exciting. It's just full of pictures. I'm going to go ahead and set the camera down and open this up so I can show you a few of the images on the inside of this book. Okay, so here's this book all opened up. I've taken the cellophane off. It is so huge. It's really difficult to even lift. It's definitely going to have to be a book that probably has its own shelf in our library. And you can see some of the images here on the inside. Just lots of different architecture styles and wonderful pictures throughout this book here. It talks about buildings from all around the world and different types of structures and things like that. So just one of those really fun books to look through, especially for people who love architecture. So I was so excited to find that. I thought it was a wonderful book, and I thought that that price was really great for such an impressively large book with so many wonderful pictures to look at. So I was really excited about this. I also love the color of this book here. I think it'll look really nice sitting out on one of our shelves, a nice bright orange color in our library. As I mentioned in my grocery haul recently, my son is getting married at the end of the month here in January. We are in the process of getting him moved out, and years ago we had a large reference library in mine and my husband's office, but when the kids were in high school and college, we we took down that office and dedicated a space for them to have their own computer stations. But now that they have graduated from college and are moving on and getting married and things like that, we have decided to revert it back to our reference library. And I thought that this was a really nice book to kind of purchase and be able to add in as I sort of rebuild our reference library. I have also been really excited about doing shelf tours this year. That is something that I won't be able to do right away. Of course, this month I'm very busy with wedding planning, so I will be eager to do that when we get some of our new libraries set back up in a different configuration, and then I will look forward to doing shelf tours of all my books. I have been collecting and reading books for many, many years, and I love my library, and I'm really excited to get it set back up a slightly different way than it currently is now, and I will be eager to do those shelf tours when I'm done with that process. But yeah, this was a book that I was excited to purchase now that I know we're going to have more of a space for our reference books and things like that. So this is my biggest book yet, and I'm really excited to add this to my library, as well as all of these other books, lots of lifestyle books, a beautiful children's books, and a classic and a mystery, a few other novels here, and an interesting political book, and our book about maps. So that is my book haul for this month. I'm going to try something new at the end of the month as well, either at the end of January or the beginning of February, and do sort of a reading vlog. My goal this year is to read a minimum of 52 books, a book a week. Every month I'll be reading my Owl Crate book, a classic book, a regular novel like a British mystery murder, and then a lifestyle book of some sort. So a nice mixture. I wanted to kind of keep it mixed up so I wasn't reading all of one type of book, and so I thought that at the end of every month I would share with you what I read and what I thought about those books. So definitely be looking forward to that video coming up here at the end of January or the beginning of February. I hope you enjoyed checking out all of the books that I purchased for this month. I would love to know in the comments if you have read any of these books or if you're interested in reading any of these books. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more videos from April's Home. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.